Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of ASEConversations. Today our guest is Bridget Binsbacher, Executive Director of the Cactus League. At this time, I'll turn it over to our host, Ashley Hammett. Ashley?
Hello, thank you for joining us today. While baseball has played a big part in your family throughout the generations, you yourself have established several firsts in the sport, including the first Cactus League volunteer to reach the executive level, and now the first ever executive director of the Cactus League. Can you tell us about your family's baseball background, as well as your thoughts on being a Cactus League pioneer?
Sure, absolutely. My family history goes way back many generations to when my grandfather started playing with a farm league way back in the 30s. And of course my brothers played baseball and starting with Little League and into college, and it was just always part of my life. But when it really started to grab my attention was when I became a baseball mom. And that happened, over 20 years ago when my oldest started playing Little League, and he is about to turn 29. And then he started playing club ball about a little over 20 years ago. And so we have been, every year, our vacations have revolved around travel ball, club ball, and throughout those years, we spent hours upon hours at tournaments, not just in different parts of the country, but in Arizona, all of our spring training facilities. We logged many, many hours as a family with siblings and babies and family members coming to watch different games for many, many years. And then into high school and a high school championship, and so many great memories that I have that revolve around baseball. I didn't really realize the extent of it until I started to talk about it publicly and put it all on paper. And it was just amazing how much baseball has contributed to my family memories.
As the former Cactus League treasurer, you said you started bringing them into the 21st century with current procedures. What are some of those major initiatives? We
started a few years back by creating a strategic plan. And as part of that strategic plan, one of the top initiatives was bringing on dedicated leadership in the way of an executive director. And so I was the beginning of that very first initiative, coming on as the executive director, and that took time and again support from our partners and stakeholders. And strengthening our partnership with Major League Baseball is another one of those initiatives. And we've made huge strides there as well. And making sure that the Cactus League has a seat at the table with other mega sporting events because of the impact that we have. People think of spring training and they think of the Cactus League and they think of spring training baseball. And it means so much more than that to the state of Arizona because of how it impacts tourism and what it means to our state. And it's so important that people understand that it's something that we have to protect by continuing to invest in it. We can't take it for granted. And people forget that back in the early 90s, the league was on life support, down to 7 teams, all heading to Florida. So it isn't automatic that our teams will stay in Arizona because we have amazing weather. It's so much more than that. And again, it's something that we're all in it together and have to invest and look at creating the best possible facilities for our teams and the best possible fan experiences for our fans. Keep them coming back year after year.
Obviously, your first spring training as executive director had an unexpected outcome, to say the least. How did your job change as a result of the shortened 2020 season due to COVID-19?
It changed overnight, really, and it still continues to change. And I think that's just part of leadership, is being able to adapt to change and pivot as need be. And so my job has really been to keep the organization and our members together, keep them talking, keep them informed, offer them a sounding board so that they can share whatever concerns and challenges they might have, and then provide the latest information.
There's been talk about having all Major League Baseball teams play the 2020 season in Arizona. MLB is expected to share the restart plan with the Players Association soon, which would include playing this 2020 season in home venues as much as possible, starting spring training 2.0 in June and the regular season in July without fans. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, there's no definite news on that. So really the Cactus League remains prepared to resume baseball in whatever form that might be. We don't have definite information and specific facts on that. So we are just in the wait and see, sticking together, trying to get current information and be prepared. And I can honestly say our facilities are doing just that, maintaining those facilities, those community assets, and being prepared for whatever might come their way.
COVID-19 notwithstanding, what are your goals for the Cactus League?
Well, COVID-19 or no COVID-19, I feel like I've been busier than ever, really trying to be that voice for the Cactus League and representation of the membership. But the goals are the same, and that continues to be strengthening the relationship with Major League Baseball. And throughout all of this, there's really been more of a connection with Major League Baseball. Though we don't have specific information, they know who we are. They know what an important role that we might play in this, and that's all part of our plan, is to continue to strengthen that relationship. Also, making sure that the Cactus League has a voice in all of the circles, all of the industry circles, and that they know about our impact and what it means to Arizona. And telling our story. That has probably been the most significant.
Can you tell us about your other roles and passions?
Well, community service has been a passion of mine since the beginning of time. I was a banker for over 20 years. I was in the banking industry and was fortunate enough to work for an organization that really promoted public service, community service. And that led me to the nonprofit world, which is where I entered into the Cactus League and spring training arena. And that was back in, 2005. And then actually joined the Cactus League in 2008. And running that nonprofit organization, which is one of the nonprofit partners for the Cactus League, I was entrenched in the community, serving youth organizations, special needs, special ed, underprivileged, which is a big part of what the Cactus League is able to do as a result of the spring training opportunity and having Major League Baseball in Arizona. That has always been a motivator and an inspiration to me. I also serve on the Peoria City Council, which was, interesting, not something I saw myself doing back then, but just throughout the course of serving the community, it kind of led me down that path and allows me to serve on a greater level than I ever thought I could. And again, for me, it's really about people and how to impact my surroundings, people in my life in a positive way. And that's what keeps me going.
Your work with the Cactus League and other civic organizations have not gone unnoticed, as you have received numerous awards, including being recognized as one of 2019's most influential women in Arizona and receiving the prestigious Paul Harris Fellow Award for outstanding contributions to the Peoria North Rotary Club. What has been your most satisfying accomplishment to date?
Well, gosh, it's hard to pick. Going through the election process is like nothing I ever imagined. And to have the public go to the polls and vote for you and pick you as the person that they want to trust and lead them and represent them is one of the highest honors. My work with the Cactus League is equally important in so many ways because it started through community service, and I never really was paying attention to the fact that I was the first female on the executive board, or that I was a female in sports. I was just doing the work and things started to happen. And now to have been given an opportunity to serve in this capacity as the executive director for the Cactus League in the baseball industry and set an example for up and coming female leaders is something, again, it wasn't part of any great plan. I wish I could say I had, but it comes with a tremendous amount of pride and responsibility. And it's a tremendous honor. And the inquiries I get from young women through LinkedIn or social media, or it's just, they're watching and learning, and to be in that position to be able to influence others as a result of baseball, it's amazing. And I see it as a tremendous accomplishment. But again, I joked with our PR folks about such focus on a female in baseball. And I thought, it's not about me being a female, I've just done the work, and here I am continuing to do the work. But it's meaningful. And I learned quickly there aren't a lot of women executives, female executives in Major League Baseball. And so it is a tremendous honor. And there are a lot of eyes on us for making that decision. And I'm just honored to be in that position and represent future female leaders in the industry.
In your personal life, you are married and a mother of 4 children. How do you manage the work-life balance, and what motivates you?
I wish I had a secret formula for that work-life balance. And there isn't one. It's not always easy. And because it's a very delicate dance. For me and my family, in all honesty, I think of us as a community service family. My husband is a fire captain. My son is a firefighter. We have kind of just grown up serving, and we support each other. And when starting with the Cactus League in the nonprofit world, I specifically joined the Peoria Diamond Club at that time because I was wanting to bring my kids into the volunteer world and community service, and getting their baseball teams to volunteer and work the parking lot and include my kids in my work. And that's what's made it possible for me to be able to work as much as I do and serve as much as I do alongside of my husband and his charitable contribution, just like he does to support me. We've just all done it together. It's become part of our family, part of our routine. And, that's probably the best way to make it happen when you are a mother of 2 kids, 4 kids. It's a lot of work being a parent and integrating your work into raising 4 children. We're all in it together. We're all in it together, and we've all committed.
If you could talk to yourself as the little girl who attended the baseball games with her grandfather, what would you tell her?
Oh gosh, you're pulling at my heartstrings right now. I absolutely adored my grandfather. I hung on his every word. So at that time, it was effortless for me to listen to his stories, his history, his sense of patriotism, his work ethic. Today, young people do not have, porch time with their grandparents like we used to years ago. It's just people are spread out all over the country and don't necessarily have an opportunity to grow up with their grandparents a part of their day-to-day, like my grandparents were a part of mine. But I would tell that little girl to savor every moment, because it goes by so fast. To savor every moment and listen to those stories, listen to those lessons, because they will play into your life down the road as you start to grow and lead and evolve into, the adult and parent and grandparent that you will become. I hear his voice like he was just speaking to me yesterday, and it has truly shaped the person I am today. And I'm just forever grateful for those experiences, so we can't take those for granted. Take the time to listen to those stories.
Well, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for today.
Yes, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate your time, and not only that, but your commitment and service to the Cactus League, to our community, and that of your family as well. So we
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Thank you for those who tuned in today. Remember, every Sunday at 3 p.m. We'll see you next time on ASEC Conversations.